Today we are discussing the interview questions and answers for AWS Certified Developer Associate. You can download the complete list of AWS-based questions from the link provided in the description. Our interview question based on Certified Developer Associate is: what is AWS Lambda? Your answer should be AWS Lambda is a serverless computing service provided by AWS, allowing you to run code without provisioning or managing servers. It automatically scales based on incoming requests and charges you only for the compute time consumed. Our next interview question is: explain the difference between EC2 and Lambda. Your answer should be EC2, that is Elastic Compute Cloud, provides resizable compute capacity in the cloud and requires you to manage servers. Lambda is a serverless computing service where you upload your code and AWS handles the server management automatically. Our next interview question is: what is an S3 bucket? Your answer should be Amazon S3, that is Simple Storage Service, provides object storage through a web interface. An S3 bucket is a container for objects stored in S3. It allows you to store and retrieve any amount of data at any time. Our next interview question is: how can you trigger an AWS Lambda function? Your answer should be Lambda functions can be triggered in various ways, including API gateway requests, S3 bucket events, DynamoDB table changes, SNS notifications, and more. Our next interview question is: what is an IAM role? Your answer should be IAM, that is Identity and Access Management. Roles are AWS entities that define permissions for making AWS service requests. They are used to delegate access to AWS resources securely. Our next interview question is: explain the difference between IAM roles and IAM users. Your answer should be IAM users are AWS accounts with permanent, long-term credentials used to interact with AWS services. IAM roles, on the other hand, are temporary security credentials that are assumed by users, services, or resources for a specific task. Our next interview question is: what is AWS DynamoDB? Your answer should be DynamoDB is a fully managed NoSQL database service provided by AWS. It offers low latency, high performance data storage with seamless scalability. Our next interview question is: how does DynamoDB differ from traditional relational databases? Your answer should be DynamoDB is a NoSQL database, meaning it does not require a fixed schema and provides flexible data models. It offers seamless scalability and low latency performance compared to traditional relational databases. Our next interview question is: what is an AWS SDK and why is it important? Your answer should be the AWS SDK software development kit provides developers with libraries and APIs for interacting with AWS services programmatically. It enables developers to integrate AWS services into their applications easily. Our next interview question is explain AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Your answer should be AWS Elastic Beanstalk is a platform as a service PaaS offering that simplifies the deployment and management of applications on AWS. It automatically handles the deployment, capacity provisioning, load balancing, and scaling of web applications. If you are preparing for any AWS-based certifications, you can download the complete list of valid, tried and tested questions and answers from the link provided in the description below.